What's up, everybody, and welcome back to T-Roy's Toys. And once again on this channel, we're going to try to get this 1983 Ford Ranger, hopefully get it to run and drive. Yeah, guys, if you remember from the last video, we got this thing, we got to bust off. I know she'll run, but we had problems getting the carburetor to fit onto the manifold. I've got some parts we need, but we're going to need to make a little modification. So anyway, let's get to it. Alright guys, I want to give a special shout out to Jack Hobbs. He helped me out. This is the part we need. It's the spacer for the carburetor that goes on the manifold. It's for the EGR valve. Now, we're not EGR in anything. We don't do that nonsense here. So what I need to do is make a block off plate for this, because I've tried to find something and I just need to make a plate that'll fit. So, got me a piece of scrap angle iron. I think I found this off the side of the road. We're going to make a plate. Now, guys, please understand that fabrication is not my strong suit. We did not have a fabrication class at the school that I went to. So, I've just kind of been self-taught, and so far it's worked pretty good. I'm just going to trace this out. Oh. Try not to move it. Got my basic shape. I'm going to get the cutting wheel. We're going to cut this sucker out. Cut down pretty much how we want her. This ain't perfect, but I think she'll work. Let's drill our other hole here, if I can. Alrighty, got our part modified here. Got it cleaned up, smoothed out pretty good. It's not perfect, but I think it'll work for what we're doing. I had to modify some bolts. Had to cut them down a little bit. They were like ½ an inch too long. Anyway, this is just supposed to go like that. Got our little gasket here. I'm going to put some red RTV on it. Because honestly, is it a build if you don't even put red RTV on it? Don't think so. I don't want a lot. I don't need a lot. I just don't want any leaks, guys. There we go. Start these very gently. I don't know what the torque spec's supposed to be on this, so we're just going to call it tight enough. Alright. There we go, guys. Got our EGR plate, custom EGR plate, block off plate. Now, I was going kind of easy on this because this is aluminum, so you don't want to strip that out. Alright, guys, let's put it on the truck. Alright guys, finally we get to put our carburetor on, hopefully. I haven't got to put it on yet, so probably shouldn't count my chickens before they hatch. I apologize for the dog barking. It ain't mine. I wouldn't have a dog that bark like that all the time. I'm assuming it goes this way because I think I've got this capped off right now, and I'm pretty sure this goes to our, or it's going to go to our distributor for vacuum advance. So I'm going to put it like that, and we can change it later if need be. Gasket on for a carbureting machine. think it goes this way. Yeah. Yeah, because the throttle piece is here, so it goes like that. Right, there we go. All right, let me locate some bolts and we'll bolt this sucker down. All right, guys, we are about ready to start this thing and see if she'll actually run, perhaps maybe even idle. Button up a few little things, got the little temporary little fuel system set up here with our click-clack pump, because I have no idea what that tank looks like. Anyway, guys, let's see if we can get this thing to run. Alrighty, guys, there you have it. She runs, she idles, she runs good. I think I plugged some of the holes in the intake, and I think that solved some of our vacuum problems. But if you notice something, it kind of makes sense now why it wouldn't start with the key. That sucker's in reverse because it was trying to back up on me. So I guess we're lucky this thing is low on transmission fluid. So let me figure out the what's going on with the transmission, why it's in reverse and not park, and I'll get back with you. Anyway, guys, she runs. Let's see if we can get her to drive. Well, now we got her pulled in the shop, guys. I got her figured out why it was in reverse. That has a bracket for the linkage that bolts to the bell housing that I forgot to bolt up, and I'm not 100% sure, but I'm thinking that it was maybe because it wasn't bolted on, it had kicked out enough, so it wasn't fully in park. It was kind of in reverse. That's what I'm hoping it is anyway. Anyway, guys, got that bolted on. Now, since we know it runs good, I need to fix the cooling system or rig up some kind of cooling system because I'm not 100% sure this transmission's any good. So, got the radiator from not this Ranger because the guy took the radiator out of this truck. I don't know why he did, but anyway, it's not there. And of course, the Ranger that was wrecked in the front, if y'all remember it, you know, the radiator obviously was gone on it. But the other one, the one that we cut the front clip off of, I saved the radiator for it. But let me show you an issue we're having. You see here, this is our radiator, and you know, they both had the same motor and stuff, so I was assuming that it would work. But this radiator doesn't quite fit. I mean, it's close to fitting, but it doesn't bolt up. It doesn't sit down in the, I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up, but you know, the base and stuff. It doesn't. I guess they take different radiators. But I think I can drill some holes and we can kind of rig this one up. And honestly, I don't even know if this radiator's any good. But before I spend the money on a new one, you know, we're gonna make sure some other things work before we start spending much money, because I'm not one of them big fancy YouTubers. I don't have all the kinds of money like everybody else. So anyway, we're gonna try to make this work. Alrighty, guys, it has been about a few days. Well, actually, it's been more than a few days. It's been about a week or so. I've been kind of thrashing away, getting parts and stuff for this thing. Let me show you the radiator setup, how we got that done, and everything else we've got done. Yeah, you can see I've got some accessories put on. I thought I had some hoses. I ended up buying some hoses. We looped where our heater core hose is supposed to go, because pretty sure that's not going to work. This is our radiator setup. Like I said, new hoses. Had to get a new alternator. So for those of you who are doing a swap from a little bit newer Ranger engine into an older Ranger, the 87 Ranger alternator has a different wiring setup than the 83. Even though they had the same motor, I guess because one is fuel injected, the other's not, they changed it somehow. Anyway, within about 5 years or so. 4 years, I don't know. I didn't do good in math. Anyway, guys, let's put some fluid in this radiator and let's see if she holds. All right, got some of this old O'Reilly 50/50 special I've had kicking around. Good. So anyway, yeah, it kind of looks green. Anyway, here we go. Alright guys, I got the coolant added. I found a little port in the intake that apparently, I guess, coolant goes to the intake for some reason. But I found a little port that I forgot to plug. Had to plug that. Anyway, it's just temporary fix. I might check out the threads and see if that can't be where because I want to run a manual temperature gauge. I don't trust the OEM one. Anyway, let's get the fan clutch and the belt put on. Right, the fan clutch I didn't have the OEM one, so I had to find this one from a junkyard. It doesn't quite fit the fan shroud. I think we'll be fine without the fan shroud for now. We'll see how it runs, and if it starts running hot, then we'll figure something out. Well, alrighty, guys, got everything buttoned up. I think we're good to go. Well, now that we're almost ready to go, guys, because it's halfway in the shop, we are taking some precautions. One being, we got the fire extinguisher, and two, I'm pretty sure we got the transmission figured out. There was a piece of linkage that needed to bolt to the bell housing. I bolted that up, and actually it will start with the key now. I found that out. So, but just in case, we got the both the back wheels put up on jack stands. So if she tries to take off on us, she's not going to run us over or run away. So anyway, guys, let's crank her up. Let's see if she'll move the wheels. Ooh. And contact. Okay, now I think I got the fuel system figured out. Wheels are stopped. Oh, there we go. answers that question. Ooh, guys, I can hardly hear. Well, there you go. She runs pretty well. She needs some work. She definitely needs some exhaust. That's one of the few things we got to work on. It's dark outside. I can't take it for its first drive, but I'm going to finish putting some transmission fluid, and tomorrow when I get home from work, we're going to see if she'll go for her first drive. All right, guys, I got home from work a little bit early, and getting ready to go on our first drive. Only had to add about 2 quarts of transmission fluid to it. This is our temporary fuel system. Please don't judge me, but hey, if it works, it works. And yes, that is zip tied to the grill. Hopefully it won't break. Well, alrighty, guys, let's ready to take our engine swap Ford Flippin' Ranger for its first drive in, well, at least 2 years that I know of. Guys, there you have it. She runs and drives, kind of stops, kind of makes a lot of noise. Anyway, guys, we succeeded. We engine swapped this thing from a fuel injected 2.3 to a carbureted 2.3, and she runs and drives. Now, she needs to be tuned out and stuff, but I have got to get the exhaust fixed before I can go with that. And it needs tires. The power steering works very well. That's actually kind of nice. It's a nice change. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this episode. I want to thank you all for watching. Remember, please like, subscribe, all that mumbo jumbo everybody else always says. And y'all have a good evening.